Nintendo is releasing the new Wii gaming system less than 48 hours after Sony launched the new PlayStation 3. And while the buzz over Wii isn't what it was for PS3, local gamers are still pretty excited.
I've been saving up for this console for like a year and a half now, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. I've been playing it all day.
Lots of gamers got to give Wii a try at Game Crazy in Redmond. The store had several consoles set up so people could play while they waited. And there was a lot of waiting. Get a load of this line. More than 100 people willing to wait for hours to be among the first to get their hands on Wii.
What time do you get in line?
1 o'clock this afternoon.
And you don't mind the wait?
No.
The release of the PlayStation 3 turned violent in some cities. Police used rubber bullets to break up a rowdy crowd in Virginia, and one man was shot in line in Connecticut. Only some 400,000 PS3s were shipped to North America, so some blame the violence on gamer demand far outweighing supply. That's not expected to happen with Wii, as Nintendo promises 5 to 10 times as many units will be available, and they're still expected to sell out.
For the first time, Nintendo is cutting the price of its top-selling Wii game console just as Wii sales are slowing down. The price of a Wii will be slashed to $200 from $250. Microsoft and Sony, you'll recall, cut the cost of their game consoles last month.
The question is an emphatic absolutely. In fact, we're so convinced of it that we put that pronoun right in the name. So today, welcome to the world of Wii U. It's a system we will all enjoy together, but also one that's tailor-made for you.
The Wii U is an interesting console to talk about. It was really something people really didn't understand. And Nintendo knew this very well when it released. But what made the Wii U fail? What caused it to fail? Was it the marketing? Was it the way the handheld was for the gamepad? Was it that it didn't have a lot of games? Or was it just bad timing? You see, the Wii U was a powerful console. It was an interesting console. It had a lot of games with it and a lot of third parties that really tried with the gamepad but utterly failed due to Nintendo really wanting to be different. You see, the Wii was popular because of the motion control, but how much gimmicks can you put in one console? That's the question that we're going to be answering. In this retrospective of the Wii U and understanding why it failed, we're going to go look between every single thing before the Wii U was announced, the prototyping, and the aftermath. But before we do that, we have to look at the console market itself. So let's take a look. The Wii U started in 2011 in prototyping phase. Nintendo wanted to be different, like they usually are with their newer consoles at the time, being the Wii and 3DS. While the 360 and the PS3 were very popular and people were buying games left and right, there was one thing the 360 had to change, was the Kinect. The Kinect really did interfere with the 360. So bad, in fact, that it would actually listen to everything you said. So if you said Xbox turn off while playing a game, or somebody could have said it, it would have turned off and you would lose all your progress in a game you were playing. But the 360 had some benefits. It did have a lot, actually. It had Gears of War, it had Forza, and a bunch of third-party games that people know and love today. But there was another problem. The 360's design. The 360 design was a very interesting design, but it was also rushed. The reason why it was rushed because they needed to get enough 360s out in order for the holiday season. These 360s would overheat. Now, overheating happens to every console. It happened with the Wii, it happened with the PS3 with the orange light of death. Now, the Xbox 360 was so bad, matter of fact, that Microsoft lost a bunch of revenue. How bad, in fact? Well, you could take a look yourself.
Ben, check this out, man. You ever seen this error before? The new Xbox 360 I just received today. It's a completely unknown error. I've never seen the red LEDs go from here to here, and then on the red ring of death, we all know that it's not green and red.
This is perfect Walmart advertising for you.
Hey guys, how's it going? Kelshaw here. Another video, and in this video, it's kind of a, I guess a sad video, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so my Xbox 360 console, when I turned it on, I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, or COD 4 really, and that happened.
Now, why would anybody buy a Wii over a hardcore system like the Xbox 360? I don't know. You tell me.
Alright, yeah. But Xbox 360 Slim. And yeah, people said that it couldn't get red ring. Yeah.
While Microsoft was fixing the red ring of death issue, a lot of people were really upset with Microsoft, so they decided to switch to PS3. But there was one big issue with this: the PlayStation 3's price point. See, the PlayStation 3 was a very powerful console, just like the Xbox 360 and the Nintendo Wii. But the price point was a little worrying some, especially at that time when the economic crash happened. You see, the PS3 was $500 to $600, and people couldn't afford that. People really wanted to play these games on the PS3, games such as The Last of Us, Killzone, God of War, Uncharted, and all the above of third parties, but the price point wasn't to where it is, and a lot of people just bought PSPs. So what did Sony do? Sony did what any company would do in this situation if they're smart, which is put the price down. PlayStation came out with a new design, and it was priced at $249. Yes, $249. The PlayStation 3 Slim was $249 and was a new design, had better hardware, and a lot better cooling, so they don't get the orange light of death like they did before with the original PS3. The PS3 did become successful, and more sales numbers did happen because of it. They also included PlayStation 3 Move, which was like a Wii, but for the PS3. It didn't really do so well, but people really did enjoy it. Well, the holiday season now is coming up, and PlayStation's really excited for their new sales numbers with their new price cuts. But there's one issue. It isn't any of their fault, but the PlayStation Network is about to go in danger in the holiday season. What do I mean by this? Well, let's take a look and see what happened during the PlayStation 3's PSN hack.
Security experts are calling Sony's data breach the worst in several years. Credit card data of 77 million PlayStation users may have been stolen in a hacking attack that targeted the PlayStation Network. Sony said it has no direct evidence credit card information was taken, but isn't ruling out the possibility. That has security experts alarmed.
They're not even sure necessarily how to close the hole that allowed the hacker to get in the first place.
Sony acknowledges that account information, including names, birth dates, email addresses, and login information, were all compromised in the attack. As a result, consumers could face months, if not years, of unease unless they take steps to protect themselves.
Consumers should definitely read the frequently asked questions that are being published by Sony. However, personally speaking, I would immediately have my credit card number changed, and I would be much more careful about the emails that I receive, and I would certainly be much more wary about giving out personal information going forward.
And for users, the prospect of their personal data being held in unscrupulous hands is unnerving at best.
I mean, now I'm pretty distrustful of the network. I mean, it's one thing for their, to get you would think as a big company they would get attacked by hackers all the time. You would think that they would have much better security than this.
If the intruder successfully stole credit card information, the heist could rank among the biggest known thefts of financial data. It could also be one of the most expensive. One estimate putting the potential cost of the breach for Sony at more than $24 billion.
The real victims here are the consumers.
Mark Hamrick, Associated Press.
It's 2011, E3, the Wii U showing off. PSN's hacking has been completed. Sony did apologize to fans and offered them PlayStation Plus for an entire 6 months for free and offered a couple free games. The Wii U was right around the corner. People were very excited, but what's to look for? Well, Nintendo did show off a press conference of showing what the Wii U can do, and this showing off a lot of things, such as a new Mario Bros. Game, a Zelda tech demo, a Mii game, and a brand new experience for the Wii U, which was a game called Mii Run. Yes, this is a prototype for Nintendo Land, but we'll get more into that later. What was the main focus about the Wii U? Well, another big focus for the Wii U was that you could play without having a TV. Just by using the gamepad, you could switch off your TV or switch the HDMI to the Wii U gamepad just with one button, the TV button. This was a very big focus point for the Wii U and try to differ from the Wii. You see, the Wii, you had to just play on the TV. You couldn't play your games off a gamepad or anything. This isn't like the Nintendo Switch that we know and love today, or like a bunch of handhelds out there that we know, such as the Steam Deck, the Lenovo, and all the above. This was a big risk for Nintendo due to the fact they're sharing the same name. But why did it share the same name? Well, Reggie will tell us about that in a very short while. But to continue about the new controller, the Wii U looked a little bit different than the final product from what you see on screen and what we're going to go over in a little bit. It had a very skinnier look and very non-bulky compared to the other final design for the Wii U. It's very interesting to see how Nintendo really wanted to portray the Wii U as like a mini sort of DS without the top feature. They did have a Wii U gun with it, which would be kind of like the NES Zapper, and you could also do what was new at the time for Nintendo, video calls. This was a voice chat feature, and it did as much as it can, with the camera being pretty okay at times, but it did lag a lot. And they introduced the eShop, which was not a new thing, but it was pretty nice that you could explore on it, and the internet feature for the Wii U. Even though the 3DS did have a limited internet feature, the Wii U will be customizable and you'll be able to see and watch YouTube on it. So why did they name it the Wii U and what's different about it? By that, we can go to Reggie, and it's kind of complicated. Even looking at the press conference now, you could tell that they were still a little bit confused on the marketing. So let's take a look.
Once you started hearing it as we. It was clear how much fun we all had playing together, even with people who weren't gamers before. But in thinking about a new Nintendo system, we knew the prevailing thought would be this. Yes, the game will probably still be right for all of us, but could it also be a perfect fit just for you? And the answer to that question is an emphatic absolutely. In fact, we're so convinced of it that we put that pronoun right in the name. So today, welcome to the world of Wii U. It's a system we will all enjoy together, but also one that's tailor-made for you. The other word associations are easy. Is it unique, unifying, maybe even utopian? The answer is also yes to all of this, and here's the reason why. This is the new controller for Wii U. It's different from anything you've played before. It's infinitely complex and yet perfectly simple, all at the same time. It can change the way you game personally, and it can change the way you interact with your family and friends. To begin explaining, let's take a little quick peek at Wii U in action.
For a new Super Smash Bros. Game since Smash Bros. Brawl. Sakurai did say in recent and past interviews during the development of Brawl that it was very tiring and he doesn't know if Brawl was going to be his last game. He really didn't want to work on another Smash Bros. Game, but according to interviews, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Wii U and 3DS was a passion project done by Sakurai for Iwata. Iwata really wanted the Wii U to succeed and believed that a Super Smash Bros. Game would be really important for the Nintendo Wii U. But then he also had to work on a Nintendo 3DS port. So what did Sakurai do? He promised Iwata that he was going to make Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. And he did. And here's the announcement of that coming up for the press conference. Keep in mind, this took place right after Reggie got off stage and introduced the Wii U with a couple of games.
A few months ago, I explained the concept of Wii U to Mr. Sakurai, who was developing Kid Icarus. We were discussing which platform his next game should be developed for, Nintendo 3DS or Wii U. What Mr. Sakurai suggested then was a specific idea to make Smash Brothers for both Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, to make it work together on both platforms. Well, since his team is still involved in the final work for the Kid Icarus, maybe I shouldn't go into any details today. But I think I have just promised you that Smash Brothers will be developed for Nintendo 3DS and for Wii U, and that the software will work together in some fashion. Of course, this is a product for the future.
That's right, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U was in development, but they had to wait a little bit due to Kid Icarus Uprising for the 3DS being developed. But that begs the question, what do people have looking forward for the Wii U? Well, the only confirmation I had was a 2D Mario game, a Zelda game, but that isn't what we got in the long run. We got Zelda Breath of the Wild. But before we talk about Zelda Breath of the Wild, let's talk about the tech demo and what is interesting about it. You see, the tech demo for the new Zelda game, which was known as Zelda for Wii U, is sort of a non-playable but playable tech demo. What I mean by this is that while playing the tech demo for Zelda, you were able to change night-day camera and viewable from the TV and from the gamepad. On the TV, if you switch from TV mode to the gamepad, you can see the map. The map will show on the TV while the gameplay will be on the TV. Well, the gameplay will be on the gamepad. If you do the opposite, you will see the map on the gamepad and the video on the TV. It's a very interesting way of showing off the Nintendo Wii U, and it did bring a lot of eyes' attention to it. But we never got anything like the graphical compatibility of Zelda on there. So it was kind of a sad but also interesting way to see Zelda in HD graphics. Now what about the other games? We did get a tech demo of Mario Bros. U, which was named Mario Bros. Me. There isn't really too much of a difference. It looks like Mario Bros. Wii, but just with Mii's. It's a kind of similar. Maybe it's the same exact engine, the same exact assets, but there's no real difference. Only real difference is that the title screen where you turn it on shows, oh, you have to wait 10 minutes before the demo restarts, and that's really it. And it shows off the compatibility and the playability of the Nintendo Wii U with the TV idea. But that begs the question, what is really different for the Wii U? They've been showing off the TV mode, but most of the games of the Wii U and what they've shown off can play on both the gamepad and the TV, no matter what you switch to. There's no interchangeable except the tech demo. Then we have another game, and that is called Mii Run, the tech demo for Nintendo Land. This does use the Wii U gamepad in an interesting light. By showing two different perspectives, you can see your Mii character and you can see the map. Even though the map in the tech demo is on screen, you can see a bigger version of the map on the gamepad. And the gamepad is a little different from what we see. You see, the gamepad is a little more flat and a little bit more non-bulkiness that we talked about earlier. Why was it like this? Well, it seemed like Nintendo had a last-minute change of it. Nintendo's known for changing things pretty quickly when it comes to products and their games. But Mii Run looked the same. It didn't look any different than what it was on Nintendo Land. It ran pretty smoothly, even though it's a tech demo, and a lot of people had a lot of fun with it. So it's another thing to understand that the Wii U was capable of having party games, particularly games like Mario Party, but there wasn't any tech demo for Mario Party. So the most important thing for the Wii U would be what third parties and first parties. The Xbox One and PS4 were not announced yet. They didn't even come into development until 2013 and shown off in 2013. And the Wii U came out in 2012. Nintendo had a head start in this. It's very important to understand that the big titles such as Mario Kart and Smash Bros. And a new 3D Mario game didn't come out until 2013. Nintendo had an entire year to pack up their IPs and make a good impression before the Xbox and PS4 came out. But Nintendo didn't do that, unfortunately. See, the first party lineup was pretty rough. But before we get into the first party, let's talk about the gamepad now. The gamepad is an interesting topic, and we'll start off with the difference between the prototype, what we saw on the tech demo for E3 2011, and the final product. The Nintendo Wii U gamepad was an interesting device. During the Wii U's upcoming launch, we did see a different version of the Wii U, and it was very flat. It wasn't too bulky as the original Wii U that we know and enjoy today. It was very flat looking console. It had 3DS buttons with it. Actually, the analog stick was from the 3DS, but it felt too weird. In this pictures, you can see a side-by-side comparison of the D-pad and the analog sticks for the original Wii U design and the 3DS design. People really liked the way it looked, but Nintendo probably thought that it would be too much of a complicating factor, especially with games using the camera. So they decided to switch with analog sticks, and it worked out pretty well for them. The Wii U gamepad is known as one of the most comfortable consoles that Nintendo has made. Well, controller. And the Wii U came with a lot of things. It came with the headphone jack, it came with the NFC reader, it came with motion controls, it came with TV buttons, dual analog sticks, and it did come with an IR sensor. And it also came with a TV button, power mode, and volume button, just like how a normal tablet would be. And it also came with a camera that was used for a specific type of application, which was the Mii video chat. See, the Wii U video chat was an interesting type of product. It didn't really last too long. It did get shut down, if I remember correctly, about 3 years or 2 years after the Wii U came out, because a lot of people just didn't want to use that feature. So what was Nintendo's thoughts about it? Nintendo wanted to have the Wii U gamepad be a controller that everybody can use. In an interview with Gamatsu, Reggie says games need to be built that can take advantage of 2 gamepad controllers. It's going to be well after launch, but those game experiences are to come to life, said Reggie to Gamatsu. So Nintendo really wanted to have the Wii U gamepad, kind of like how they had the Wii controllers, where everybody can use it. Even in the early versions of the Wii U prototyping, they decided to attach 2 Wii controllers and have a screen with it to show how the Wii U would work, and it does look pretty similar to what we know of the Wii U gamepad. So the Wii U gamepad was an interesting type of device. The only criticisms with the Wii U gamepad was the battery life and the connectability for the Wii U gamepad. So what were the first parties, and what did Nintendo have in store for people? Well, in E3 2012, we will find out what Nintendo had in store for the Nintendo Wii U future and launch. The Wii U's road to launch day is a very interesting thing to talk about, so let's talk about it. The Wii U's road to launch was sort of a confusing but interesting time for Nintendo. They did show off Pikmin 3, which looked very exciting for people and had a lot of people really looking forward to what the Wii U is capable of. Pikmin 3 used the Wii U gamepad and used the motion controls to go through levels and pick as many Pikmin as you want. Miyamoto was very excited for this project. He did work on it since the Nintendo GameCube, and it did also borrow a lot of stuff from Mario 128. Mario 128 is a demo that was premiered on the Nintendo GameCube, and people thought that it was going to be a new 3D Mario game. But this didn't happen. Pikmin 3 and Mario 128 are basically the same, where you have a bunch of characters on screen and showing off the capacity of that and showing how much rendering capability that the Wii U had. Base is what Nintendo shows for Pikmin and what it's capable of. So Pikmin 3 was very exciting and people were really looking forward to it. Then we have Wii U Fit and Wii Fit Plus. See, Wii U Fit was just like Wii Fit. It was the same thing except without the balance board being a main priority. It sold over 40 million copies. So with Wii U Fit, people were expecting a new type of machine or exercise. Wii U Fit did pretty okay, and people did enjoy it at points in times, but it wasn't too much of a difference like Wii Fit was, where Wii Fit was a totally new innovation that no one thought of and no one was thinking of at the time. So Nintendo showed that at their E3 press conference before the Wii U launched. And then we have a specific exclusive game from Ubisoft called Zombie U. We'll get more into Zombie U in a little bit, but what you need to know is Zombie U was a survival game, and you play as 4 characters trying to outlive zombies that have taken over London using the Wii U gamepad and having a co-op system. Ubisoft really did develop a lot for the Wii U. They also developed Just Dance for the Wii U. Even in the gameplay for Zombie U, it looks very different to the final product, where the Wii U gamepad was used for the map and inventory system, but it was pretty clunky at times when it came to using the flashlight and surviving. The best part about Zombie U is that it actually did come out on Xbox One consoles and PS4 consoles later down the line after the Wii U didn't do so well. So Ubisoft did support the Wii U pretty favorably. And then we have Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land was a very fun concept. It was sort of like Wii Sports games, but for the Wii U. Even though they weren't too much of the same, it did show a lot of excitement. People were mostly excited for Nintendo Land due to the fact that you could make your own amusement park and have it to the way you like it, playing different mini games from Zelda, Donkey Kong, and ninja games and playing a minigame from Metroid. It was like a party game, but since there was no Mario Party released at the time, this was people's answer to a Mario Party. So what did Nintendo do with Nintendo Land? They basically showed what it's like to play with a family when it came to Nintendo Land. You see, Nintendo Land was a very, very important title for Nintendo to show off because that was going to be their bundled in console. While they showed it off with the Wii U gamepad and the Wii, it still confused a lot of people on, is the Wii U gamepad just a Wii add-on? And Nintendo didn't really get out of that messaging. Even later down the line with the Wii U, people were still confused. So after the Nintendo Land and Nintendo's E3 press conference of 2012, what else did they have to show? Well, for that, we have to go a little bit further to the price point.
What's up, everybody? Damon Hatfield here with IGN News. More leaks suggest Nintendo is planning on launching the Wii U on November 18th of this year. The information comes from the GameStop Managers Conference, where peripheral maker PDP reportedly revealed its plans on releasing Wii U accessories on that Sunday launch day. This isn't the first time we've heard suggestions of a November 18th release for the Wii U. Furthermore, the weekend timing and proximity to Black Friday and Thanksgiving here in the United States fits Nintendo's pattern of home console debuts for the past decade. The Wii was released on Sunday, November 19th in 2006, and the GameCube was released on Sunday, November 18th in 2001. To add a healthy dose of skepticism here though, PDP's plans do not necessarily have to align with Nintendo's. Accessories frequently ship prior to console launches. Until Nintendo outright reveals its plans, we won't know for sure. Luckily, we don't have long to wait. Nintendo will be hosting a Wii U press event next month on September 13th. Hopefully, it will be announcing that long-awaited release date and price. For more on all things Nintendo, stay tuned to IGN.